Breaking news at noon, a small plane crashed in Florida, killing 3 on board and injuring 1 on the ground. It comes just 1 day after a deadly helicopter crash in New York. We have details in both incidents. Plus,
I would like to have Social Security as long as I am alive.
Oregonians raising concerns amid uncertainties from Social Security to immigration. How Oregon's Attorney General responds, and later.
Oh my gosh, you get to unplug. There's no TV or phone.
It's a place where times gone by are easy to find. Grant McComey explores the high desert's forgotten ghost towns and the history behind them all. Your news at noon starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. We have breaking news in the case that upset so many in our community. Today, a judge sentenced the man caught on camera abusing a dog in a Northeast Portland apartment building. 25-year-old Isaac Justin was indicted last August and pleaded guilty today. Security cameras showed Justin hitting a small black dog with a rope numerous times in an elevator there. In the last hour, a judge sentenced him to 16 months behind bars and 3 years of supervised release. He also can't own a dog for the next 15 years. KGW's John Adams was in court today, and we'll have reaction to the sentencing coming up in our evening newscasts.
3 on the plane, 3 souls on board, and we can confirm those were all fatalities.
And breaking news out of Florida, 3 people on board a small plane died after it crashed near the Boca Raton airport. It happened around 7:30 our time this morning. Authorities say a man who was in a car on the ground has non-life-threatening injuries, but video from the scene shows debris scattered across the highway and on train tracks. The FAA says the plane departed from Boca Raton Airport heading to Tallahassee International Airport. None of the victims have been identified at this point. And we are tracking another deadly crash, this one out of New York. Authorities have identified 2 of the people who were on board a tourism helicopter that crashed into the Hudson River. We put their names and photo up on your screen there. Authorities say that they are a married couple from Spain and believe the children on board were theirs. The other adult is said to be the pilot, though the pilot and children have not been publicly identified yet. This crash happened just after noon our time yesterday, closer to the New Jersey side of the Hudson River. Witnesses say that they saw the chopper split in half before it went down.
I heard it sounded like a engine just dying, and it was like do 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 do, and I just turned, I looked, and I saw the helicopter crash and splash into the water.
The aircraft was operated by a local tour company called New York Helicopter. At this time, it's still unclear what caused the crash. Here locally, take a look at this. A box truck rolled over on I-5 North near Alberta Street just before midnight, shutting down 1 lane on each side of the interstate. Now, everything is back open now, and no others were involved here. We don't know if anyone was hurt, but we have reached out to Portland Police for more information on this. Now turning to our weather forecast, we are taking a live look at the Oregon Zoo. It's supposed to be a good weekend for some outdoor activities, right, Rod?
By our standards, yes. No, really, Sunday looks to be bluebird sky, absolutely gorgeous. We've got some breaks in a mostly cloudy deck over the Rose City at this hour. We've had some light showers this morning continuing up in Astoria, a trace of rain at the airport at 11 o'clock this morning. But other than that, it's pretty much quiet, and there are some areas that are really enjoying some blue sky. One of those, good afternoon to you in Lincoln City. Lots of blue sky from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera. You're at 51 degrees. Also seeing a lot of sun so far over in parts of Central Oregon. That's Bachelor sticking up from the back of Sun River Resort, where temperatures will be in the 50s today. And we have partly cloudy skies looking over the downtown cityscape, and we are at 56. There is a shower chance, but generally speaking, the odds are better that we will stay simply dry with kind of mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies. We're at 56 right now. We definitely will hit 60. Maybe we get a degree or 2 above that. Your Friday evening plans look to be mainly dry and then the 50s. Now for the weekend, there is, or will be, I should say, some showers around tomorrow. We'll detail that forecast and also the latest on a frost advisory for parts of your weekend coming up.
All right, thank you, Rod. All All right, taking a look at the stock market now, which has seen one of the most turbulent weeks on record due to changes in U.S. tariff plans going on right now. In afternoon trading, stocks climb higher. The Dow rose 1.3%, NASDAQ climbed 1.6%, and the S&P 500 did about the same. And in the latest tariff news, China announced today that it would raise its retaliatory tariff on U.S. imports to 125%. Now, this comes after the Trump administration clarified yesterday the U.S. tariff on Beijing is at 145% now. Developing here in Oregon, Governor Tina Kotek wants the Oregon Department of Education to, quote, hold the line against President Trump's executive order targeting diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in public schools. So Oregon relies on federal dollars for about 14% of its K through 12 budget. Last week, federal officials sent a letter to schools leading nationwide, giving them 10 days to comply or potentially lose that funding. Now, that has been pushed back until April 24th as legal challenges play out. Yesterday, in response, the director of the Oregon Department of Education released a letter certifying Oregon is in full compliance with existing federal anti-discrimination laws and argued the Trump administration can't unilaterally strip funding Congress already allocated. Meanwhile, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield has joined 15 other states in another lawsuit against the Trump administration, this time to restore access to federal education funds that support low-income and unhoused students. Now, that comes just hours before Rayfield heard from Oregonians on what they are worried about most in a town hall. KGW's Alma McCarty was there.
The chaos is the point. And the hurt is the point.
Amid uncertainties that worry many constituents.
And we knew we were going to have to do everything we could.
Attorneys General Dan Rayfield and Chris Mays committed to holding nationwide town halls.
These harms are real to people.
Thursday nights in Portland. Oregonians here touched on their wide-ranging fears and concerns, among them Social Security.
I was born in 1938, and Social Security was just getting started.
Ben Fain Jr. is a former TriMet bus driver who spent 26 years behind the wheel.
I've been on Social Security now for 23 years. I doubt if I'll live 133 years, but I would like to have Social Security as long as I am alive.
Others speaking out on the transgender military service ban.
It would take me 10 years to unpack and unlock the ability to be myself.
The fears from the immigrant communities.
If they are deported or they go back to the home country, they are going to suffer from brutal activities of the vicious Taliban there.
And the protection of national lands.
We've got to defend our national forests, our BLM forests, our BLM rangelands.
Rayfield vowing not only to listen, but to act.
And they're doing this in a dark room and without public input.
As the president and his team defend their sweeping actions as necessary to reduce the size and scope of the federal government, Rayfield says Democratic AGs aren't slowing down when it comes to keeping the administration in check.
We do not file lawsuits if we do not believe and we do not have facts to show that the Constitution has been violated.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Next month, Portland Public Schools will ask voters to approve its most expensive bond ever. But KGW's reporter Thomas Schultz found that the district still has money to spare from past bonds for a project that barely has begun.
For years, Portland Public Schools has had a plan to build a Center for Black Student Excellence. And in 2020, taxpayers provided $60 million through a bond measure for the project.
I thought it was an amazing idea and much needed.
Rochelle Chase Miller voted for the plan. She has 2 young kids in Portland Public.
The center is expected to be a place where kids, especially black children, can come and grow. And the idea behind it is that it will make Oregon's biggest school district a little bit more equitable.
As a black student who grew up in Portland Public Schools, I witnessed and experienced some of those inequities.
But 5 years after that bond passed, there's still been little movement. It's still unclear where the center would be located and how much it would cost to run. And that raised eyebrows at a March 4th school board meeting.
I mean, asked before this meeting is just to see the specific sort of long-term financial plans.
A financial plan was not provided. The district does say they're close to choosing a site for the building. Still, 5 years after receiving funding, details of the project are murky. Even PPS board chair Eddie Wong says he wishes plans were further along.
I know it's frustrating.
Right. There's a lot of unclarity about a project that was passed in 2020 for $60 million.
Yes.
Why?
Sorry. Which part?
Why is there not more answers?
Answers about
what's going on with this project.
Yeah.
So right at the end there, the district communications team stepped in and says under new superintendent Kimberly Armstrong's leadership, the project is moving ahead quickly. And tonight on The Story, we'll dive into the reason Portland Public says this project has been moving slowly and have reaction from the community.